Welcome to The Culture. We rest at the pulse of the community, providing all things news, media, fashion, events, and everything that we talk about in between. Documenting our Black powerful history and amplifying our Black voices, one interview at a time. We are The Culture.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of The Culture. I am your host, Jessica Garrett Modkins, and I am so thrilled this week. We have none other than Jeff Friday, co-founder of American Black Film Festival, joining us. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Good morning.
Yes. You have been blazing trails since I want to say mid-90s. I remember attending my first. It was called Acapulco Black Film Festival at the time.
You remember that, huh?
Yes. Yeah. It was in 1999, I believe, 99 or 98. Had the opportunity to sit under Bill Dukes and ended up going to the opposite side of the spectrum in the acting world and began directing and producing. And I'm so happy that you all have found your home here in Miami. And I just want to tell everyone else about the wonderful things that you are doing for the creative industry. And how in the world did you get started back in the 90s? How did it start?
So it actually started in 1997. So you were there the second or third year. And I was working in advertising prior to that. I was the president of one of the the largest at the time, multicultural ad agency called Uniworld of New York.
Yes.
And I went to Sundance in 1997. In January of 1997, I went to Sundance to see Love Jones because my good friend Lorenz Tate and Nia Long were in the movie. And it premiered at Sundance that year. It happened to be the only Black film, I think, that year at Sundance. And what I noticed was this amazing community of independent artists. What I didn't notice were people of color. There were very few women at the time. There were very few people of color. And I came back to my office and I said, we should do something about this. There's got to be more Black films. And I just sat with my boss and we came up with the idea of starting the American Black Film Festival. And the Mexican government of tourism was our client. So we took it to Acapulco because we wanted to replicate this very tropical kind of sexy environment. So that's really how it started. And so 4 months after my trip to Sundance, we did the very first one, and it kicked off on June 19th, 1997.
Wow. And through the years, the evolution of it, has it evolved, and your mission also evolved in scope?
Yeah, well, the mission's been pretty consistent. I think one of the keys to success in any business enterprise or any community enterprise is really being steadfast in what you're about. So as the industry ebbs and flows and whether our content's relevant this year or not next year, we've been very, very consistent. So mission has not changed. The mission is very simply to provide a place where Black artists can showcase their work and also find work opportunities, because we bring in all the leading studios and streamers and networks. HBO has been around for 28 years now, and NBC Universal and Hulu and Amazon. And so the model is pretty simple. Black and brown people are highly creative, in my opinion, the most creative people in the world. We are also plagued with not oftentimes having access to information and financing and resources. So if creative people don't have access, we created an environment, and now we're home in Miami Beach, where the creative community can meet with the community of people who have access and have interest in finding new creatives, and just put them all together for 5 days in South Beach and see what happens. And that's really what happens every year. And what keeps us going is every year there's a tremendous success story. Now this year we're talking about Ryan Coogler again. I don't know if you know, he was in our HBO short film competition in 2011, and he got his first award for his first short film right on Lincoln Road in South Beach. So most people don't know that. The Ryan Coogler, Black Panthers Ryan Coogler and Sinners Ryan Coogler, got his first award at the American Black Film Festival in Miami Beach in 2011. He won the HBO Short Film Award and $40,000.
There has to be so rewarding to do what you know that you're fulfilling a need, and then you see someone whose complete trajectory in the industry has just gone to a whole nother stratosphere. Are there other success stories and films that you look at and you say?
There are thousands of them. Will Packer, who's a well-known producer, has done a ton of films, and
We just had him on the show. Yeah.
He's basically done everything. You know, he came as a young filmmaker in 1998. That's when I met him. He and his partner, Rob Hardy, they got their start there. Issa Rae's first web series premiered at ABFF in 2013, and she connected with HBO, which eventually became Insecure. Thousands of stories. I remember Kerry Washington's first feature that she starred in was a film called Lift, an independent film, and I met her back in early 2000s too, right there in South Beach. You know, young Kerry Washington on first, big movie. Taraji P. Henson's so Baby Boy premiered at ABFF. So a ton of history. And as we approach our 30th anniversary next year, we're going to be talking about some of these stories. In fact, we're producing a mini documentary about ABFF and the impact that it's had in helping usher the next generation of creatives into Hollywood.
Wonderful. Now, some of you still don't know what ABFF may be. You haven't attended. So let's take an opportunity and look back at 2024.
I am grateful that you're with us for the 28th year of the American Black Film Festival, and this is opening night. You guys excited? Well, we have a phenomenal week planned.
It's such a pleasure to be here. As Nicole said, this is the 27th year that HBO and now Warner Brothers Discovery has been a part of the ABFF family. Tonight you're going to see some incredible filmmakers.
What's going on? This is Rich Morrow. I'm down here in Miami at ABFF. We just had the world premiere of my film, Swoon. It's a beautiful environment. Everybody said it was a banger. I'm just excited to be here.
Man, thank you so much for this, Jeff and Nicole. For years and years and years, my first film I just wrote, and I wanted to direct, and people would not let me direct my own work. And I stood by my guns and said, I'm going to be a director. I'm a filmmaker. I'm not just a writer. And this proves it. So thank y'all so much.
Black excellence is undeniable.
My name is Lady Simone. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, here in Miami. My experience here has been amazing. I'm here just to support. I love seeing actors and actors be able to use their voice, be creative, show their talent. I'm happy to be here.
Hey, my name is Crystal, and I'm here at the American Black Film Festival. Y'all, it is a vibe. I'm not gonna lie. First of all, it's good to see our people out here thriving. We have executives, producers, directors, actors of every sort.
I'm Gabrielle Walsh. I'm with NBC's Found. I play Lacey Quinn on the show. Really excited to be at ABFF, just celebrating people of color and coming together and creating a community for these stories to be told.
Why is showing up for this particular festival so important to you?
American Black. That's why.
American Black Film Festival.
Wonderful, wonderful. I said that this is on the heels of the Met Gala, and this is just Black excellence once again on the red carpet. When you're looking at that, what do you feel?
I feel very, very humbled by all the support that we've gotten from people. Like, this only works because everybody shows up. People make it. There's a joke in town that says no one tells ABFF no. Not exactly true. But, by large part, people do come, when we call our friends and actors, directors, producers, and they, say, hey, we need you to come down. It's important that the world knows that this is important to you, for example, and so Lorenz Tate and Nia Long are our ambassadors this year, and they've been, friends and supporters for the whole 30-year ride almost. So it's just humbling to know that you created something that's still relevant this long after you started, and that people care about it. So it's wonderful feeling.
And then you have partners that have continued the journey with you. I do remember over 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago, HBO was there. Cadillac was a sponsor, still is a sponsor.
American Airlines, for example, has been around for 25 years. I think people respect consistency, you know, and companies are kind of sometimes are in and out, and the financial climate changes. But I think what people really gravitate the most to is just consistency. We talked about this, the mission hasn't changed, you know, like it's been really difficult some years to stay steadfast on promoting Black content. With Black content comes in and out of focus in terms of what Hollywood cares about, you know. So I think the brands care about consistency. The brands love our audience. You know, we have a very upscale audience, young and not so young, but just all ages, multi-generational, but everybody's educated. Everybody's really interested in Black culture and Black art. Everyone who comes is interested in community. That's the one consistency, community mindedness. If you don't like being around your own people, then you probably shouldn't be there, because that's what it's about. Everyone's friendly. So we've created this brand, this very upscale, you know, Met Gala is very upscale, but I think you got to find a balance between being upscale and being accessible.
Yeah.
You know, because upscale without accessible, that's elitism. And we don't ever want to be that. But what our community needs, we don't need another elitist event. The Black community doesn't. So we've been very, very intentional about that.
And with that, you have 5 days jam-packed full of workshops, educational opportunities, screenings. Can you take us through an example of what a ABFF attendance would be?
That's a great question. So it starts Wednesday, June 11th, and we end on Sunday with Community Day in Overtown at the Lyric Theater. And you described it. Between Wednesday and Sunday, film premieres from studios, networks, panel discussions with your favorite stars and showrunners and favorite creators. Then we've got master classes. If you want to learn how to write, direct, act, or produce, we've got master classes in conjunction with NYFA. And then in the evenings, we have entertainment. We have a comedy show one night. We're doing a music open mic event this year. We're introducing it for the first time for Black Music Month. Then we got parties, you know. And so, you know, for those who just like the party, we got something for you too. For those who want a more substantive educational experience, you know, we say there's something for everybody. And in long days, I mean, you got to get some rest, because we start at 8 and we go to 4 o'clock in the morning every night. So it's a lot to do.
It's a wonderful time. I do recall in 2020 when we were in the helms of COVID, or I don't know if it was 2020 or 2021, but you went digital.
Both.
You pivoted and made the transition.
Yeah, that's a great observation. So in 2020, we were preparing for June 2020, and COVID hit in March. If you remember, it was Friday, March 13th, when COVID just kind of the world stopped. So we were trying to figure out what to do, and we built a streaming platform, and it's called ABFF Play. And we've kept it around because it was very successful. The great thing that happened, you know, sometimes we say make lemonade out of lemons, right? So the great thing that happened is we built the streaming platform. So the festival no longer was just a live event in Miami Beach. It now became this global thing. And so we put it up, 100,000 people signed up, watched the festival that year from 135 countries. So now we transitioned from this local event, kind of US-based domestic event, to this global event. So we've expanded our reach across 135 countries. So 2020 and 2021, we did virtual, and we came back to South Beach in 2022 for the live event. So the core of it's still a live event, but to have the virtual component has really helped us grow the brand.
And so you're continuing with the virtual opportunity.
Yeah. So the week after we leave, the week after the live festival, the virtual starts for a week. So we go live June 11th to 15th, and then we go virtual from the 16th to the 24th. So if you can't make it, there'll be virtual passes available in a couple of weeks on our website.
Nice. And what does the price range for virtual as well as in person?
In person ranges from $90 to $1,600, which is a VIP. And then the virtual, I think, is $50.
Okay.
Wide range. That's why. And then also for those who are local and can just come for the weekend, we do have some events have individual tickets are available for some events, but it's more But yeah, so some events will be available individually, and then all the film screenings are available individually. If you just want to come see one movie, I think the movies will be $10 or $12. So from $12 to $1,600, depending on how you want to customize your experience.
And then what do you foresee the future of this Black film industry? Where are we going?
I don't know where we're going, but I know where we need to go. We need to focus on ownership of our creativity. If you ask me what hasn't changed, if you ask me what's changed in 30 years, I'll tell you there's a broader range of Black content, and more people are like in the writer's room and doing behind the things. I don't think the more people are in front of the camera. I think it's pretty much the same. If you really look at it. The 90s, we were full of Black movies in the 90s. But what hasn't changed is ownership. And the reason that the industry is making a big deal about Ryan Coogler's deal, I don't know if you're familiar with the deal with Sinners, where he gets the movie, I'm sure you are, he gets the movie back in 20, because that never happens to Black filmmakers of color. It's a very, very rare group, that has enough as an actor or creative, have enough leverage to get your IP back after 25. That's very rare air. But for a Black filmmaker, that's what we really should be talking about. I think we focus too much on Black creators in front of the camera, actors and people. No, we need to talk about ownership.
Right.
And until we start to make our own decisions and greenlight our own projects and own our IP and create assets, we're going to still be basically glorified employees.
Right.
And that's, it's fine. That's fine. But in my humble opinion, I think the next wave of needs to be on ownership and financing.
You heard it, the Culture family. Ownership. Yeah. Well, Jeff, we thank you for coming on. I'm excited. I'll be there like I always have been. I am a big fan of how you have single-handedly just ushered in every next generation of talent, but in front of the screen and behind. So thank you for all that you do. I'll see you in a few weeks here in Miami.
And I'm equally impressed by what you're doing too. I'm paying attention. It's a fantastic platform you've created. I want to talk to you about working with us next year for our third.
Oh, awesome!
I've got an idea.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We actually started during COVID. It came out of a need.
Incredible.
Yes, I was the news director at a radio station here in Miami in the 90s. Got out of it, started an agency, has been doing ads, did long form and short form content. We had a number of different documentaries that we filmed. But what I learned during COVID was that our community wasn't getting the information that they needed in enough time, because at that time, I was hearing whispers that Black people could not get COVID. And it was because of that I said, I've got to do something about this. And so we began this podcast, started talking, and now we're 5 years later. We've been picked up by 2 television stations, and we just broadcast this every week. It's just been something that God placed in my heart, and I just kept doing it. And so
it's beautiful. It's beautiful what you're doing. And I do have an idea. So we're going to reach back out to you for a call in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
I love what you're doing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And we will see each other in a few